Hey guys, Nick from Cincy Game Hunting here. This week we're going to try and do a little something different. I'm going to try and go to a game store and pick up an Xbox One X and not pay for it. I do a bunch of trades to try and get it for free or close to it. So I actually had a deal in place with Chase after the right price. I know he likes to do the Will It Trade segments. And he had an Xbox One X, and we've actually settled on a deal for one. And unfortunately, we couldn't find a time where we both could get together. I live in Cincinnati, he lives in Battle Creek, Michigan. So we tried to find a middle ground, and my parents live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I told him, hey, we could meet up in Fort Wayne, and he only could meet up during the week, and I can only meet up on the weekend. So unfortunately, we couldn't get it done, and it stinks. But I would love to have met him and got that deal set up and give him a great bunch of stuff to put, into his reselling. But it just didn't work out, unfortunately. And so I'm going to try and pick a bunch of stuff that I have in my collection that I don't play anymore and take it to that retro game store and try to get that Xbox One X for free. Now, don't chastise me. A lot of this is really good stuff. And I know people are going to be in the comments saying, what are you doing? Why are you trading that in? I don't play them anymore. And I don't believe in holding on to stuff that I don't really play that much. And also, these systems are ones that I can't find games for that often. And if I do, they're always expensive. And they don't really show up at the thrift stores. So, it is what it is. First of all, my boxed TurboGrafx 16. Now, I know people are going to be screaming at me, why are you trading your TurboGrafx? I don't play it hardly at all, like I said. I love this system. I actually bought this about 6 months before the Turbo Mini was announced. And I was kind of bummed out when I found out about it. So, it's a fun system. I don't have a ton of games for it because the games are just so expensive. And yeah, I mean, my games are over here. Not very many. Let me get out of the light so you can see them. We got Bonk's Adventure, Vigilante. Keith Courage came with the system, I believe. Legendary Axe. And another good one was Bloody Wolf. And a lot of these games are games that I had to find on eBay because there was not really a lot of options to buying these games. Even video game stores don't really carry these games. So it gets hard to find them. And I want systems that I can buy cheap games for. I mean, I know people are going to be like, oh, why are you buying new stuff? Because you can find new stuff for cheap right now. You can find games for $5 for anything between, PS1 through PS4, all the Xbox systems, even NES. You can find NES stuff for cheap still. And I still have a good chunk of NES stuff in my room. I actually have my original NES still hooked up. So I keep that stuff, because that's nostalgic to me. I grew up with that. That was something that I just picked up in the last few years just because I really wanted to try it out. So I'm not super nostalgic for it. It was pretty cool to have it. It was pretty cool to play it. But I kind of played it through, and I don't play it anymore. So, moving on. We're also going to trade my Dreamcast. Now, I believe I bought this off a coworker once. I had like 40 or 50 bucks. They go for about 65 now. And another game system I don't really see a lot of games for. I found a couple of them at thrift stores, but not many. So I'm going to trade it in because I think another one. I don't play much, and I'd rather just, get trade credit for it and get an Xbox One X for free. We also got, let's see. Oh, a PS2 that I bought on the channel at a yard sale for like $15. And I got that and that, what was it? The Al Pacino movie, Scarface. Got that together for $15, and the game's worth $30, so I'm keeping the game and flipping the system. We also got a bunch of controllers. A lot of them ones that I picked up at yard sales and whatnot. So I'm going to throw those in. I also got the Ace AV adapter for the TurboGrafx. I got that thrown in when I bought the system. A pound cable for the Dreamcast, along with a couple of memory cards. And a bunch of Dreamcast games. Nothing really, earth-shattering. I think Rayman 2 is worth a good chunk. Omicron's worth a good amount. And Shenmue's a good game, so I don't have a ton of good stuff. And as I said, I can't find it. If it's good, it's usually really expensive, like over 30, 40 bucks, and I don't pay that. I just don't believe in paying a lot for video games. because everything can be found for super cheap depending on what you're buying for. So guys, stick with me here. We're gonna go and head over to that video game store in a little bit here, and we'll see what we get. All right, we're over at the game store. It's Nostalgic Games over in Florence. I'm gonna bring the stuff in and see how much we get for it. Hopefully we have more than enough and have a little extra trade credit saved up afterwards, so see what happens. All right, guys, the deal is done. We picked up an Xbox One X from Nostalgic Video Games over in Florence, and we traded in my TurboGrafx and my Dreamcast, and I had an extra PS2 that I threw in as well to make sure I had enough to cover the entire price of the Xbox One X. Now, the background on this is that Xbox One X is becoming extremely hard to find. Microsoft stopped making them, and they're only going to make the One S now until the current gen or the new gens come out, and so there's going to be no new ones coming out for the future, and it's becoming impossible to find. So I've been wanting to pick one up because I almost picked one up before, and I've been having buyer's remorse of not getting it. So I finally found one, and I was bummed that I couldn't make the deal with Chase from Chase After the Right Price, but you know what? I was able to hook it up over here at Nostalgic Games, and they gave it to me for just under $400. That's the retail price of it, really. I think it was $375 is what their asking price was, so pretty sweet deal. And honestly, I can't complain. System, cords, controller, and I didn't pay a dime for it. I had $545 in trade credit, so I got the system for free, and I have $140 and change to buy more games later on from them. My big knock on Nostalgic back in the day was they were always a little bit pricier than most game shops. They have definitely rectified that. I walked around the store for about 20 minutes. They have great prices now. So I had mentioned to somebody in the comments a couple months back about how I loved their selection. They always had amazing selection for a video game store, but their prices were always just a smidge high. Definitely not the case anymore. They are awesome now. So if you get a chance and you're in Florence, Kentucky, check them out. It's a great store. And like I said, if you're looking for stuff, especially retro stuff, they have a ton of retro games there. So anyway, guys, finally got my Xbox One X. I know everybody's going to hate me for trading in my TurboGrafx, but I'll get a mini sooner or later here, and I'll be happy. All right, first thrift stop of the week, and we went to a Goodwill on my way to work, and there was a couple of bins in the front of the store, and they were just chucking movies and games and whatnot into them. And I don't understand what's going on with that, because they threw some good stuff into that bin, and there was stuff on the wall where the games usually are. There's just absolute garbage. I mean, I don't know the concept of why they're doing that. Maybe they're just out of space, and they decided to just throw everything into these bins and just make people dig through them. Probably not the most sanitary way of doing it, but whatever. I ended up finding 4 good games. First of all, we got Dead to Rights for $4. This game goes for around $6 or $7, but I don't have it yet, so I'm totally down for picking it up for $4. And yeah, if it's not any good, we still probably get half of it back in trade. We picked up The Suffering. Now, I had never heard of this game, and I looked it up, and it was like $19. We picked it up for $4. It looks like a survival horror game. Not usually my type of game, but for $4, I'll try it out for once. We also got on the GameCube the SpongeBob SquarePants movie for $3. And yeah, this goes surprisingly for like $20-25. I'm not a big SpongeBob guy, but like I said, I'll try any game out once. It looks cool, but like I enjoyed the Battle for Bikini Bottom game, so I'll give this one a whirl. And last but not least, you saw it in the video, they had a copy of Super Mario Brothers Wii. They have $6 on it, but I think she only charged me $5 because these should have came out to $17 all combined, and it ended up coming to $16. So I think she might have. I saw her face when she looked at this game and was surprised that the price was so high. So I think she knocked $1 off of it. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is complete. And my copy that I have at home is only got the disc and the case. So I'm probably gonna swap out either the manual in my version, or just swap it out altogether and just keep this one. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked. A complete copy of New Super Mario Bros. Wii for $5. Pretty awesome. All right, it was 50% off day over at Salvation Army. Unfortunately, there's always one tag that's always not 50% off. And of course, today was yellow. Bummer, because I found two NES controllers for $2.99 a piece, and they were both yellow tagged. So $3 is still a good deal. I would have loved to have got them for $1.50, but I guess they had just come in, that's why they're yellow tagged. So bummer, but you know what? $3 a piece, pretty good deal. We also picked up for $1.50 Tony Hawk's Project 8. Don't have this Tony Hawk game yet, so $1.50, perfect price. Give it a whirl. All right, we found a couple of things in that St. Vincent de Paul, things that I wasn't really expecting to find, but we found them. As you saw, we were over in the CD section, and there was a couple of PC games that I ended up grabbing off the shelf. The first one was Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and it was only $1. And I don't really do PC games, but I figure I can flip this to a game store for at least $5. And yeah, it's complete. It's got everything in it, so worth it for $1. We also grabbed one other PC game. You didn't see this in the video, but I found it as I was walking away. Star Wars Jedi Knight for $1. Dark Forces 2, I think it's called, yeah. And this one's sealed. It's completely brand new. So yeah, I'll see what I can get out of these, trading them in, and maybe we'll get some trade credit. We also got 3 PSP games. You saw they had a stack of them down at that in the jewelry case. First of all, we got with this one I was kind of bummed out that it was not complete. It was Final Fantasy Tactics on the PSP. This goes for, I think, $18-20 complete, but it only goes for like $9, you know, with a loose disc. So if I find the artwork, I'll be able to complete it. The case actually says it was supposed to be Gran Turismo, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm totally stoked about finding that game. It's only $4. We also got SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3. This one was $3. I have a lot of the SOCOM games. I did not have this one, so I figured for $3 I'll grab it for cheap. And there was one more in here. Oh yeah, Hot Wheels Ultimate Racing, and this was also $3. And any racing game I find, I'm always willing to grab it. And I think this is another one that goes for between $8-9. So yeah, $3 for that one. Altogether, I think we spent, I don't know, like $14 maybe. I don't remember the time. Of course, I could do the math in my head and I would be able to tell myself that. But let's see, 4, 3, 6, we had $12 altogether. So 5 games for $12. Gotta love it. All right, last stop of the week, and we ended up finding about 3 games here. One of them was a sleeper. I didn't realize how expensive this game was. We found a PS4 game, a 360 game, I believe a PS3 game. And the PS3 game is one we find a lot, but it's worth a good chunk, so it's always worth picking it up. NCAA Football 13. For the life of me, I can't find 14 anywhere. And I mean, it's for good reason. It's an expensive game, and I'm sure everybody just snags it whenever they see it. But I find this fairly often, and it's about a $25 game, so for $5, I'm going to grab it. We also got, this was the sleeper, Star Wars Force Unleashed Sith Edition. And I didn't know this was like a thing. It's a 2 CD set. Unfortunately, it's in a GameStop box, but it's still loose. It's worth like over $20. So, score on that. I almost passed on it because I thought it wasn't worth anything. But and I already have the Force Unleashed games, but I'll grab the Sith Edition for $5. And last but not least, we picked up Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS4 for $5. I'm pretty sure this still goes for like $18 at GameStop. I have it on PS3, I think. I might just keep this copy and just trade in my PS3 one. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 for $5. Guys, not a bad little week. We picked up an Xbox One X and didn't pay for it. We did it all in trade and had a bunch extra. I'm probably going to do an episode coming up soon, just going around town and, you know, buying a bunch of stuff with my trade credit. I think I have trade credit at like 5 or 6 different stores, so we will make a week out of it sometime soon, and we'll just go store to store and see what we can pick up for all the trade credit we got. So pretty sweet. A lot of good games this week, and like I said, I'm looking forward to playing that Xbox One X. Guys, thanks again for coming out with me. I appreciate it so much. If you get a chance, like and subscribe. Subscribership is great. I've been very flabbergasted that I've been getting about 10, 15 subscribers a week every week that I do a video, so I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, guys, keep hunting.